Impossible Battle 13, and we are back with base Shogun 2 after a nice foray into Fall of the Samurai, and that was really something. Oh man, that was sweet, and you all appreciated it, which I was glad about. A lot of nice comments, and some new patrons as well, which is always nice, because so long as it remains true that there's fresh challenge that I can confront head on in Total War, and I'm able to keep pushing those limits and learning while I do it, and showcase it for the benefit of all of you, so you can maybe get something from what I'm doing. And while I've got patrons that appreciate it enough to egg me on, push me forward, and let me really justify this as an endeavour to pour serious time and effort into, I will keep going with this. So keep the saves coming, because they are essential, and that burst that I got after the last one was really nice. Really got my brain going looking through those saves. You all have some pretty good playstyles. I'm definitely impressed, and this is a good example of that, because this guy, Johnny Pan, is playing as the Otomo, and he's done something that I haven't really seen very much, and this is something that I've neglected a little bit as well until now. Whenever I make units in Shogun 2 campaigns, I tend to have a habit of making duplicates of fully upgraded units, but most of the utility for any given unit in its main role can only present itself in one location on the battlefield perfectly at any one time, and you can only give full attention to that one instance. So there's only ever really one perfect charge opportunity for a unit of Nodashi that have a perfect flank open, for example. There's only really one sweet target for a unit of bow samurai on that flank to hit, so every unit after that, it's diminishing returns. But I had a mindset, of course, everyone does, of holding off on making any, getting the highest upgrade, stacking that with all the other upgrades you can from stand and fight or retainers, and then just pumping out that unit, just making a big clone army and just washing over everything. This is a good example of how just having one of a very potent and specific rolled unit, like for example Katana Samurai, or even Matchlock Ashigaru, or Light Cavalry. Light Cavalry is a very pure unit, so just having one of them and having a lot of these units that complement each other, a lot can be achieved with the combined arms opportunities that they afford. So for this save, I am going to be trying to make the most of what he's done here, because I appreciate it. He has got a lot of Yari Samurai to overcome and a lot of Bow Samurai. This is almost pure Samurai. So we've got two cavalries, the generals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Yari Samurai, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. 8 Bow Samurai, and then 2 Yari Ashigaru. And he acknowledges the Bow Samurai to be a problem, which they are. If you have a few units of Bow Samurai grouped together, and they get off a clean volley into a unit of Katana Samurai, that can be 40 or 50 guys dead. Or the Tersos, for example, even more fragile, taking 40 or 50 guys, that's nearly half the unit gone. Or Light Cavalry, a unit of Light Cavalry really can be halved when Bow Samurai just concentrate fire into it, especially when it's not moving fast. Every unit here is susceptible to Bow Samurai, and we don't get the cannons. I like that. He even brought cannons, European fucking cannons. Oh my god, a meme unit. It's a shame I can't use it, because I would have tried to find a role for it. And then we have a core of Ashigaru, including some matchlocks. So he says, love the content, I'm stuck on this one. Not sure it's that impossible, but the large number of archers are making it impossible for me. Would love to see your take on it. It's 1300 versus 2500 soldiers. Our side has units outside and inside the fort, and a large quantity is musket based, including 1 unit of Portuguese tersos. The enemy army has 8 units of archers, which makes using the muskets quite tough. So let's see how we do this then. So this is that map that has the 2 hills at the back. I thought about trying to use both of these, but I eventually decided against this one. So I'm going to be trying to utilise the fort and this elevation here. Post-commentary once again. Do I really need to keep saying this, man? Of course it's going to be post-commentary and the context clues make it obvious on its own. I'm trying to focus 100% on achieving as much from my gameplay as possible, and that's really made more difficult when I'm trying to maintain a standard of commentary. So if I can just fucking focus on the gameplay and then explain it afterwards, both aspects come off improved, so that's how this works. Alright, I'm going for this hill with all the Ashigaru that I start with and the retainers. I'm trying to bring everything to bear upon this entire half of the army. Half of the army deploys over here on this side, and then the other half is in front of the fort. And what I'm going to try and do is envelop, and I'm going to try and use combined arms as well as possible to be as efficient as possible. I've got a lot of really potent units, and I want to combine them in ways that are naturally complementary. For example, you can tap units with light cavalry to stop them from charging matchlocks, and matchlocks are terrible in the melee, so it's a perfect pairing up. Also, Katana Samurai work really well alongside that because they can be the one to force the melee on your terms after you've gotten off a free volley. I'm really trying hard to negate the bows here. They do have a lot and they can do a lot of damage, so they've got 3 units of bow samurai at least going towards my Ashigaru in the trees. I've got ranked fire with 3 ranks on both of my matchlock Ashigaru, and I'm going to be positioning them above the cliff with a perfect shot, a perfect vantage and angle. It's great. If this works, it'll be really nice. I'm trying to keep my Yari Ashigaru loosed until the last minute, and that unit I'm going to try and get into the melee to stick that unit. See that unit Yari Ashigaru that's pushing onto my matchlocks? It got stuck on the hill, which was perfect. And now I can hit it in the flank with the Yari Ashigaru and pin it there, and it'll have a perfect rear shot opportunity from my matchlocks. And then any units that follow up will be similarly stuck in the blob and fusilladed to devastating effect. And now that I've caught all the infantry in the melee, I'm pulling my retainers through and I'm going to try and go for the head-on charge with the retainers. The retainers are perfect for that. There's no better scenario for a unit of retainers than a wide line charge, 1 man thick, into multiple units of bows, bow samurai too, and I'm trying to play off of the initial fight and have my light cavalry slam into the back of them. So while their backs are turned, they're going to be getting hit by light cavalry, and then the retainers will hit them from the front and let the light cavalry pull out, which can't stay in the melee. And then I'll have the katana samurai come in without taking any fire from them. So the bow samurai will have been pinned down this whole time. They'll have only had shot opportunities into loose Yari Ashigaru mostly, and then all the infantry, all the Yari Samurai has been getting ranked fire fusilladed from 2 units with a perfect shot into the side of it. So I've used combined arms and I've tried to dismantle this army, and if this all goes to plan, it'll have been really clean. And then I've got my 2 matchlock units overlapping a little bit, negating each other slightly. But if you look at this, my Katana Samurai's peeling away and giving them an angle. And I like how you could see the matchlocks opening up along the front of its line as the Katana Samurai granted line of sight. It was just so nice. And all these guys on the hill are dead. And now I've got Tersos and Katana Samurai enveloping that unit and it routes. And the Tersos didn't take any losses even though I sent them in for the charge. So that was really clean. And now we're pulling up to the fort to deal with the other half. The efficiency and speed with which I dismantled and annihilated that half on the left side meant that I can now potentially get everything into the fort in time in order to dismantle that other half with the same efficiency, which wouldn't usually be possible, but it's just the plan being good and the micro being good that let that happen. And that's what's required to pull off any decent victory here. It's the only way I could really come up with it. And I'm using the light cavalry to chase off those bow samurai so they don't rally and come back and bite me in the ass. And also I left the garrison, the Yari Ashigaru garrison, on the capture point to buy time, because I'm going to need that time. And I've got my Tersos and my Matchlock Ashigaru. Oh shit, I accidentally clicked the rapid reload button. But that's alright, it shouldn't matter. They already reload really rapidly. And we have 6 ranks of decent matchlocks that are going to unload, going to open up on any unit that comes around the fort. That's what I'm doing there. I'm laying a trap to try and take the strain, the pressure, off of the units that are going to be inside the fort. And what I'm going for here is something similar to what I did in Impossible Battle 1. I'm trying to have Matchlock Ashigaru supported by Yari Ashigaru, so I'm gonna try even here to combine units in ways that are really complementary. And likewise down there I've got a unit of Katana Samurai for the melee that might ensue if they actually make it up to the matchlocks, but that doesn't happen. They don't have enough units down there. My firepower's too great to be overcome. And my Tersos only have 100 kills so far. They haven't really been relied upon that heavily, but having a full unit of Tersos at your disposal means you're always in a comfortable position and you always have an option. Alright, here we go, the Yari Samurai are taking the bait. Front rank opened. Come on, Tersos. And there the Tersos go. And that's 50 guys dead. And I'm sending the light cavalry down the hill to tap the unit to stop its charge. Look at how fast it's going. Light cavalry going down a hill. 38 horses. 38 horses. Still got 38. So that was clean. I think I blocked that unit of Yari Samurai without taking any losses on my light cavalry. And this is a bit messy here. They've charged around the capture point and they're going for my Yari walls. I'm trying to get my matchlocks in position. They need lines of sight without threat of a melee, so that's what I'm going for here. I need to get Yari walls up and make the walls into a column to give channels for the matchlocks to fire, and then potentially have 2 units of matchlocks opening up between channels. That will be perfect, and that will be exactly what I wanted with Impossible Battle 1. And hopefully it works well enough that we can win this before the clock ticks down, because that unit of Yari Ashigaru is sacrificial. It's a forlorn hope just to buy time, and now the general's coming, and then there's only 1 general left. So everything is now in the fort, and there's 2 generals outside the fort, and I've got 4 units down there, and they've opened up. Here we go. Look at that, matchlocks with clear firing opportunities without the possibility of melee, because I can always move. I can shuffle to the side with the Yari walls to intercept, but that should not be necessary. And look at that, the left and the right side of that Matchlock Ashigaru just fired around the unit. That looks really good. And look at this, the general dismounted. What the fuck is that? General dismounted in front of matchlocks and got firing squadded. What the fuck is that? I don't understand that. But yeah, the plan is looking good. Our 2 least potent matchlocks are the ones on the walls doing the damage now. It's all up to them. But they should be enough. We've got 50 seconds and we've got some narrow Yari walls, some columns set up. We've got some scrappy fights going on behind the capture point. But these matchlocks should tip the balance vastly in our favour so long as they're able to fire like this. This is unimpeded, uncontested firepower so long as this setup exists like this, so long as nothing messes this up. We're taking point blank fire from the bow samurai, but there's nothing we can really do about that. I suppose I could have moved the Yari walls forward a little bit, but I didn't really want to disrupt this plan.
Fatigued, my lord, and some must rest.
And it was enough anyway. 17 seconds away from losing, but we did it. And we lost the sacrificial Yari Ashigaru, but that's okay, because we preserved every other unit. And that's it. Combined arms devastation
Victory will soon be yours.
of a samurai army double the size, while we had a fragmented deployment. And I'm really happy with that. A lot of combination of units that was really nice there, right up until the end with that devastation of samurai with Ashigaru. I think I tried to do that in Impossible Battle 1, but the battle was won and I didn't even really get to start shooting. So that tactic there of giving firing channels That was instrumental to the win. Finally, I finally got to do it. And look at that, 400 kills, and the matchlock units were all untouched, which is really cool.
The men are fatigued, my lord, and some must rest.
The Yari did their job and took all of the aggro that entire fight. Katana Samurai only lost 5 men, even though they definitely had charges there. Didn't lose a single man on the tersos. We lost 8 matchlockers in that entire fight, I count.
My lord,
that is immense.
their general has fallen. A cutting blow.
Also the light cavalry lost nearly half. But that's okay because they got 500 kills. Look at that, light cavalry with 500 kills, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I was pleased with that one. And that's exactly what I hoped to be able to do as soon as I saw that save and the army compositions. I needed to use superior tactics there to overcome those samurai. And yeah, 500 kills on the light cavalry, they carried the day. One unit of light cavalry, 500 kills against samurai. And then the matchlocks, of course, with 400, 200 each. And the tersos were underutilized, so I always had the tersos there. I could have taken on a lot more, you notice, if they had more samurai. I still had tersos there, man, a full unit. So yeah, pretty nice. Appreciate the save, and hopefully that helped. And that was the Otomo beachhead on Honshu preserved, while the push into Mori has weight behind it, has supply lines with cannons coming right up. Hope you appreciated that one, and see you next time. If you appreciate the videos and the efforts and would like to spur me on and push me forward, you can do that on my Patreon page. Special thanks to Matteo Olivetti, Nerdington, The Rody451, Halcyon, William Balangari, and Robert Sparks.